Bat.
Growing Big with Steve Bartylla.
One of the questions that I get asked most often is, what should I plant in my food plots? Well, I'll be honest with you. I have went ahead and pro staff for Antler King for, 15-ish years now. There's a reason for that. Yes, that they sponsor our show, but I honestly use this stuff. I have a hardcore rule for myself that I do not pro staff for companies whose products aren't the ones that I would buy myself. I know every quote-unquote expert says this, but honestly, I believe I owe it to you guys. You know, their trophy clover, best stuff I've ever used, bar none, including mixes I've come up with myself. You know, same on their brassica. Their honey hole brassica mix, same thing. I was here's a $10 title. I was a sunflower breeders research technician back in college. That was my internship. I worked for Jake Seed Company for 3-4 years, coming up with new lines of sunflowers. I understand that not every sunflower is the same. Not every white clover is the same. Not every rape is the same. Not every soybean is the same. Not every corn is going to go ahead and produce similar results. Each one are bred for specific traits. Okay? I use the Antler King products, frankly, because I can't replace them with something better. All right? You can argue either way whether or not that's worth it to me. That difference is worth it. I've done field trials on this stuff the exact same way I did back when I was doing field trials for Jake Seed Company. The point, though, is Antler King offers a wide variety of options. They offer their honey hole, which is a great brassica plot. They offer their trophy clover, which is the best clover I've ever used. Okay. They offer fall, winter, spring, which is a cereal rye. They offer lights out oats, which is an oat planting, obviously. Red Zone, which is a soybean sunflower mix. Plant diversity. That is the biggest key. Plant things that the deer want and offer diversity. Don't just go ahead and slap out just clover. Don't slap out just honey hole. Don't slap out just oats or just cereal rye. Offer as many of these things at one location as you can, and you're going to be further ahead. Because each planting has a time when it is the most nutritious and the most desirable to deer. The plants themselves change, the deer's needs change. With that, desirability of plantings change. So go ahead and plant honey hole, your brassica plot. Wait for the brassicas to get up about 3-4 inches tall. Then go ahead and top seed that with a mixture of 3 parts cereal rye, 1 part oats at 100 pounds an acre. Just that quick. We have cereal rye, we have oats, we have brassicas, all in one location. Now go ahead and edge feather that plot. Edge feather it through hinge cutting. Make it so that those trees are obviously always follow all chainsaw safety rules, and if you do not feel 100% comfortable, go ahead and get somebody else to do it for you. Okay, but by cutting those trees far enough through so they topple down to the ground but still retain that root, that connection to the root system, you have all that greenery now sitting there right at mouth level for deer. And I'm telling you what, browse is the most underrated portion of deer feeding there is. They feed a ton on browse. If you have a bunch of quality browse, you're going to have a bunch of quality food. But offer food for the entire season. If you really want to manage deer, make sure that your property offers a surplus of quality nutrition through each phase of season. Up north, That means winter and spring. You have to have great food in winter and spring if you really want to grow the biggest buck you possibly can, because that is when food sources are at their most limited and their least nutritious. Down south, that's over summer most often. Summer is a stress time down there, so if you're really trying to grow and manage deer, you need to make sure you have summer nutrition out there, because that is when they are the most nutritionally stressed. Remember, your habitat improvement chain is only as strong as its weakest link. You need quality nutrition to grow the biggest, best, healthiest deer throughout the entire year. And then offer that diversity on those food plots. The more diversity you offer, the higher the odds are that there's something right now that those deer really want. Maybe it's the apple trees that we planted. Maybe it's the cereal rye. Maybe it's the oats. Maybe it's the brassicas. Maybe we ring that plot with a 5-yard wide band of clover. In the shaded areas where these types of plantings don't do as well. So now we have boom, 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 boom combination for nutrition for deer.
Growing Big is brought to you by Wildlife Research Center, the gold standard. Reconics, see what you've been missing. Antler King, bigger bucks, healthier deer. The Heater Bodysuit, you stay warm or your money back. Furminator, the best food plot implement on earth. Bush Hog, performance you can count on. Redneck Blinds, the best hunting blinds on the planet. Chestnut Hill Nursery and Orchards. And foodplotsfordeer.com, planning your habitat improvements and improving your hunting.
The question on what we should plant shouldn't be based exclusively on what do deer want the most. What is the most candy crop, the best candy crop out there. Instead, you want crops that the deer want the most in diversity. You offer that diversity, deer are going to spend a lot more time feeding on this one plot. Something like a cornfield, you know what? That costs a ton of money, and all you're producing is a high carbohydrate food. Instead, offer a smorgasbord of feeding. You do that, your food plots are gonna do well, assuming they grow well and they're in an area where deer feel safe.
Growing Big with Steve Bartylla.